Yes, that would be perfect. I really appreciate you squeezing me in on such a short notice. Yeah, I'll be there, definitely. Thank you.
You're gonna be late for work.
Stephanie.
Aren't you usually gone by now?
Yes, I just had something I had to tie up.
How are you doing?
Physically, I'm fine, except for this.
Morning sickness?
Steady as a rock.
Emotionally?
Pure marshmallow.
Well, he'll come around. Just give him some time. You have to realize this pregnancy came as just a little bit of a surprise.
Why are you being so supportive, Stephanie?
Well, I don't suppose that's too hard to understand. I was in the same situation a number of years ago. I was very much in love with Eric, and I got pregnant. Nobody expected it. He wasn't thrilled. He reacted exactly as Ridge did. But we got married anyway. We had the baby. The baby turned out to be somebody very special. And I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
So you see, things have a way of working out.
Possibly. But did you have a friend that was highly suspicious and who accused you of faking a pregnancy?
Caroline?
She truly doesn't want to believe that I'm pregnant.
Then why don't you just serve her up a dish of rabbit stew?
Well, actually, I haven't seen a doctor yet.
You mean you just based this whole thing on that home pregnancy test?
That and the fact that I'm late, and I'm never late.
Well, you've got to go to a doctor. You've got to get a medical opinion.
I am. I made an appointment for this afternoon. I just wish I didn't feel like I had to do this as a challenge.
From Caroline?
She's never gotten over Ridge, Stephanie. And she's more protective of him than I've ever seen her.
I think I better take that.
Yeah, I gotta go to work, so I'll see you later.
All right. Hello?
Oh, Stephanie? Bill Spencer.
Hi, Bill. To what do I owe this pleasure?
I was wondering if I could stop by for a few minutes. There's something I want to discuss with you.
Well, now I'm on my way down to Santa Monica. I'm going to see Angela.
Who's Angela?
Oh, someone that's just very special to me.
Lucky lady. Listen, I promise you I won't take much of your time.
Well, all right. Come on over now. I'll have Maria make us a fresh pot of coffee. I'll see you soon.
Ridge, look at this sketch, please.
What now?
It's a jacket for the fall collection. They want to trim this collar in sable. I think we should use imitation fur. Ridge, there's a lot of pressure on the industry right now to get away from using animal pelts, especially an endangered species. Now, the other stuff looks the same.
Look, why don't you just take it up with Dad? It's his design.
All right. Is everything okay between you and Brooke?
Seems to be the big question in everybody's mind these days.
Look, I couldn't help noticing you look a little tense. Did everything go all right after I left this morning?
Thorne, you're about as up to date as the rest of the family, okay?
Ridge, I'm not trying to pry, for heaven's sake.
No?
I care. I'm concerned.
Well, don't be, because everything's fine.
Really? Is that why Brooke walked out of the restaurant on you last night?
Look, what happened last night is between Brooke and me.
I don't get you. You know that? I really don't. Why the devil are you acting this way? You told her you love her. You asked her to marry you. For God's sake, so she's pregnant, you'll be a father sooner than you thought, that's all.
When I want your counseling, I'll ask for it.
Somebody sure as hell ought to give you some counseling. Brooke didn't get pregnant by herself, did she? Where's your responsibility in this, Ridge?
Look, this is starting to sound like a conversation I don't want to have. Now why don't you take your unsolicited opinion on my personal affairs and get the hell out of here?
I just heard from Stephanie. She's on her way. Angela.
Todd, unless we come up with some sort of plan that's going to get me out of this bed permanently, you're going to walk in here one of these days and find me gone. And that just might be today.
The bold and the beautiful. This portion sponsored by Improved Ultra Pampers Plus, because healthy skin begins with dry skin.
You're looking very well. A little skinny, perhaps. Maybe you're working too hard.
Wow. Nose always to the grindstone.
Well, then you better come up for air.
Well, I had somebody as lovely as you to come home to. There'd be less work and more play.
Mm-hmm. Ever the flatterer.
You're a very sensual woman, Stephanie. It doesn't go unnoticed.
You've been celibate too long.
Perhaps you're right. It's all too easy to forget how to play the game.
Oh, I would think that with that centerfold of yours, you would have gotten a lot of hot new numbers in that little black book of yours.
That's an incident that I don't find a source of humor.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. What's up?
I had somebody come by to see me recently with a special request.
Charity event?
You might call it that. Donna Logan asked me to see if there was some way that her father can come back from Paris.
Oh.
She came to me to find out if there was a spot available here in Los Angeles. She wants to get her family back together again.
What did you tell her?
Basically the truth. That it wasn't my decision alone. It was someone else that I had to consult with first.
You didn't tell her who?
Oh, no. No, she has no idea that you're responsible for her father's transfer. But we both know that you were the one that put the Logans into exile. And you're the one that can bring them back.
We'll find a way, Angela, I promise.
Your promises are getting old, Todd. You can't even find a way to stop calling me Angela.
If we plan this carefully, you'll never have to hear that name again.
Sounds great. But you don't understand. Stephanie is getting my room ready at her Beverly Hills pad as we speak. There is no way I can pull off this Angela routine 24 hours a day. I'd go nuts.
I told you that's not going to happen.
Words, Todd. All I get from you is words. Where's this plan I keep hearing about?
Don't you think I've been racking my brain to come up with an answer we can all live with?
Including the Forresters? I don't think that's possible.
It's worth a try. Now, they're decent people. You know that as well as I do.
I know. If you could have heard Stephanie talking to me the other day, telling me how much she loves me. I had tears in my eyes.
Wait a minute. Angela doesn't get tears in her eyes.
Well, this time she did. That family loves me. And they've been through hell.
Yeah, well, how do you know that?
Stephanie tells me. She talks to me a lot when we're alone. She clears her head about stuff. Her thoughts, her feelings, her fears.
Fears? What sort of fears?
Well, for one thing, there's something really heavy going on between the two brothers. And Stephanie's getting more nervous about it every day.
You want me to leave? Well, that's just fine. Well, why don't you stop pretending like this is some little nuisance that Brooke has cooked up just to trap you? Give me a break, Ridge.
You're way out of line, Thorne.
My God. If this were Caroline carrying my baby...
But she isn't, is she?
Maybe that's really what's bugging you.
Hey! All right, now that's enough. Both of you.
I didn't send the Logans into exile. They made their own decision to go to Paris.
Yes, but in all fairness, I have to believe they really had no choice.
William, there's always a choice in life.
Between no job and no future here in L.A., or a spot with one of the top American publishing companies in Europe. The odds are in your favor. They would have moved.
If you're looking for a twinge of guilt, you're not going to get it from me.
Your mind is made up.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Logan are to stay in Paris for the time being.
Well, it's bad news for Donna Logan.
She's very lucky to have you pleading her case.
She's a remarkable young woman. But in this particular time of her life, she's a young girl who needs her mother.
Well, I'm not unsympathetic with that. Maybe we could arrange a scholarship, a year of study at the Sorbonne.
Well, I hardly believe that would take the place of her parents full time.
Well, for the time being, they have to stay where they are. Now, look, let's take it from a positive note. After all, I am responsible for reuniting her father and her mother to begin with. I really would like to believe that I have given much more to the Logan family than I have ever taken away.
Well, I'm sure Donna Logan will survive.
Can I count on you to keep the status quo?
Stephanie, Mr. and Mrs. Logan will remain in Paris, and you will stay as happy as you always are.
Thanks, Bill.
I'll see my way.
All right, you two cool off. Right now. Now, what the hell is going on with you two? I can hear you all the way down in reception. Now, what is it? Well?
My little brother here has some pretty strong ideas on matters that don't concern him.
Brooke is my friend. She's a damn good friend. And I don't like the way she's being treated.
Well, this sounds to me like something that could be discussed a little more appropriately at home. Now, we have enough to do around here without the two of you brawling in this office.
The subject's closed.
I don't want to hear another word about my private life.
Or how I conduct it. Any decisions to be made,
I'll be the one to make them.
you have no idea what goes on in my head, Thorne.
You don't know the half of it.
How is she today?
Well, I assume she's resting comfortably.
You know, it didn't strike me until I was driving down here today. But when we move, I'm going to miss this beautiful ocean. That wonderful salt air. Hello, sweetheart.
I take it you don't approve of your brother's behavior.
It's not like I'm sitting in judgment, Dad.
But if it were you, you'd handle things differently.
You're damn right. I mean, I'd be shaking hands with strangers on the street. I'd be passing out cigars. Doesn't he realize that this is the ultimate expression of a woman's love? I can't wait for the day.
Son, you and your brother are very, very different. It's most evident in love and marriage and in your relationships with women.
I guess I've just always known what I wanted. The same things that you've had. A job that I care about, a family, a woman to commit my life to.
Well, I think Ridge wants exactly the same things.
Well, he has a hell of a way of showing it.
Thorne, your brother is not as much in touch with his feelings as you are, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have them.
Then what do you make of the way he's handled Brooke's pregnancy?
Well, it's understandable, Thorne, if you'll just stop and think about it. Now, fatherhood is one of life's biggest and richest responsibilities. It's not to be taken lightly or without proper preparation.
All right, but you don't dump on your wife-to-be because you need some time to get used to the idea. Come on.
You know, I don't think I tell you often enough what a fine man I think you are. And how proud I am that you're my son.
You deserve a lot of credit for that. You and Mother. You two have been my role models. And I will be lucky if I turn out to be half as good a father as you've been to me.
Well, you'll be lucky. I'm sure of that.
I've got the woman of my dreams.
I believe you do. And I'm happy for you. For both of you.
Soon, Dad. Sometime soon. We're gonna start our own family. As soon as Caroline is ready. And then maybe I won't feel this way.
What way, son?
Stupid feelings I get sometimes. These crazy, nagging thoughts that somehow Ridge and Caroline are drawn to each other.
You put that right out of your mind.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have a fall collection to do, huh? I'll see you. All right.
Excuse me, Stephanie. Can I get you some tea?
You know, one of the great sadnesses of my life has been that Angela has never seen the ocean. She's never heard the surf roll in. She's never seen a seagull in flight.
It's amazing how many things we take for granted.
God, I wish she could have known those things.
She's perfectly comfortable here, Stephanie.
I know. And now that we're getting ready to move her, I want to make absolutely certain that she stays that way. We're going to start the construction at the house. I guess the contractor's going to be coming up in about 2 weeks. Can I tell you what I'm going to do?
No.
I'm going to reconstruct this room in every detail up at the house, right down to the last cushion.
Sounds like a smooth transition.
I hope so. I want everyone to be very comfortable. I don't want you to ever feel like a guest. I want you to feel as though you're really part of the family, just like Angela. That's very important to me, Todd.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm so excited that she's coming. I mean, after all these years, well, the visits here have been so meaningful, but now I'm going to have her there with me all the time. I've never told anyone this. But I have... Well, because it sounds a little foolish. But I have always hoped for a miracle. A miracle that somehow Angela would recover. I know that's hopeless. But I never stop praying to God that that can happen.
I got to go.
Goodbye. We'll see you real soon.
Mm-hmm. Got it, Todd. The answer for us and Stephanie. We're going to give her a miracle.